finally back. Julian and I are both recording at the same time.
Yes, it's been a minute.
It's been a few weeks since we've been able to do this here on G&T Sports Talk. And I'm Bobby Thompson.
I'm Julian Gallardi. And, brother, how do you want to get this going today?
So today, you know what? We're not just going to focus on one thing. We're going to be focusing on multiple things today.
Yes, we're going to go for the three-sport attack here.
So basically...
Maybe even four.
So basically, you know, we're going to start with the big headline. And, of course... Everyone wants to know my reaction to this. You know, it's never a dull moment with Patriots fans. It's always some sort of drama. But you know what? We just won the Super Bowl. We're still on a high from that. So, all right, so let's cut to the chase. All right, there's a report.
Break it down.
All right, so hear this. Yesterday, I believe it was Jupiter, Florida.
Yes.
Police issued an arrest warrant for Patriots owner Robert Kraft for solicitation of prostitution. And for those of you who don't know that, he basically went to a massage parlor and got favors from a prostitute, okay?
Yes.
Let's put
Long story short.
Let's put it this way. So, basically what he was facing, and a lot of people asked me, they were like, "Oh, is he going to go to jail for the rest of his life?" No. What he was handed was 2 counts of solicitation of prostitution, and with that, he was handed which is a secondary misdemeanor. What that means, it won't be in the public. It will be very quiet. You won't really hear much about it for a while right after this happens. And he, he publicly denied it. Listen, I'm going to tell you what I feel. I feel like, listen, you're 77 years old. Sometimes you just got to relieve yourself, I guess. I don't know. So, listen, I ride and die with Robert Kraft any day. Robert Kraft could kill somebody in cold blood, and I'll always back that
like
man up.
Aaron Hernandez type deal?
Yeah.
Kill more than one person.
Yeah,
Oops.
so, listen, Robert Kraft, look, he made a mistake. He's a model. You see what he does for the league. You could agree. You see what he does for the league. You see how humanitarian he is. He made a mistake. He's going to do what he has to do. With this, Jules, you'll be shocked. You want to know what the maximum penalty for this is?
What?
60 days in jail.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
And he won't even get that.
And you want to know what he'll get?
Like
he'll get a slap on the wrist. He'll probably get, I'm going to say 30 days in jail.
Oh, wow. You actually think he
Or
wasn't
I'll tell you
time
this.
for this?
I will tell you this. If he's found guilty, I think that he's going to be under house. I think they would have him under house arrest. I don't think they're going to work out a deal where he does not have to do jail time. Because in this indictment and all of this, there was 175 guys. And according to Adam Schefter, he's not the big fish.
There's bigger names
There's a bigger name out there.
Yes.
So
that caught my attention.
So I'm going to tell you this, what I feel. You know what? We don't need this right now. We just won a Super Bowl. We don't need negative press.
I love it.
But listen, I'll tell you know, it is the one thing we just got to do is let it play out. So, you know, I'm going to back him no matter what. I don't think he did anything wrong. I'll give you an example. It's much different if he was going into a massage parlor and holding a woman down and having sex with her when she did not give consent. No, he did not do that. That's not what he did.
Yeah.
This is an 8th-month investigation that was cracked down, and he just went in at one of those times in those 8 months.
Interesting.
Because he has a place in Jupiter, Florida.
Oh, okay.
So look, listen, it happens. People buy prostitutes. If this was in Vegas, he would be fine right now because it's legal.
The only issue is, like, how's his wife going to feel about all this, you think?
Robert Kraft's wife died in 2011.
Okay, I'm an idiot. I don't know why. Okay.
No. A lot of people who aren't Patriots fans don't know that.
I wasn't the only one. Some people are saying that.
No.
It's wow.
It's okay
I
because
dropped the ball now.
No, a lot of people who aren't Patriots fans don't know that.
That's true. Like, I don't know his ins and outs like you do, but this whole thing to me is like.
I want to hear what you say, because yesterday we talked I want to hear what you think. What do you think?
Obviously, I find it hilarious, and I love any black guy at the Patriots organization. It just makes me happy. So I'll take this. But it's not that serious, really. Unless the only thing I'll say is unless the other shoe drops and they finds out he was a deeper part of this, like whoever helped get the prostitutes over, that's what they're trying to investigate, because obviously they're illegal. I think maybe even overseas or something. There's a deeper operation involved in all this, but I don't think Kraft knew about that. I think he was just going for a good time. I don't think he knows the part of the deeper stuff. I mean, they're investigating to see if he knows more, but I don't think that you'll see anything. It's 2 misdemeanors, just like a slap on the wrist, honestly. Like Bobby said, I don't even think he'll do jail time. Maybe he will. Like you said, the most 2 months, but he's got all the best lawyers, obviously. Like, that's going to be, if anything, like, he might spend 30 days in jail, like you said. Maybe.
Well, with this, he denied it. He said he didn't do anything illegal. Here's the thing. I don't think now what happens is it was sex trafficking, which
yes, that's the deeper part of this.
But to say that they think that he did that,
I don't think he was part of that.
You really think the New England Patriots owner, who his net worth is $6.6 billion, you think he's going to want to do something as stupid as sex trafficking? Are you serious?
I don't think so, no.
He's against all this stuff. He's a humanitarian. He goes out for communities. He helps everybody and anybody. Why in the blue hell would he want to bring women from other countries and force them to have sex with people when they don't want to? That's just stupid.
Yeah, he was just there. Like, he was just, whoever was working there, like, I think it was just like one of those things. He was just going for whatever.
I wouldn't be surprised this. I'm going to tell you this. When we fear that big name,
who do you think it is?
I'm going to say
you're going to throw a guess at me?
It's not somebody in sports. I'm going to say it's somebody in the government. You watch.
I think it's like government or business.
That's what I think.
Business world, maybe. You might be onto something.
It's not. Of course, it's not going to be Donald Trump. Of course.
Oh my God! Imagine, holy crap!
But
just another thing we wouldn't need.
Yeah, so in a way, all this stuff could have been avoided. You know what, Robert Kraft? Listen, there could be some people on that list who had no idea this was going on, and Robert Kraft, they said, according to numerous reports, there was video of him going in and out. Okay.
It's just, they were just saying, like, they saw him do this shit, but he's not, like, obviously he did something with the girls, but it doesn't mean, like, he knows about the soliciting and the other stuff, like, the deeper part of this operation. I don't think that's the case, like I already said. So, I'm really interested to see what else happens with this, like, who else comes out, like, what else ends up happening, like, who else they nail for this, because, like you said, it's a bigger story, so we'll keep our eyes on it. If anything's noteworthy, like, even outside of sports, maybe we'll talk about it. So, but in terms of that, like, yeah, it's whatever. I mean, I guess I'll ask you, what do you think the league's going to do here? Like, what's their policy on this? Like, what do you think's going to happen
with this, what it is everybody in the NFL, no matter if you're an owner, a player, a coach, and even if you work for a team, it's under the personal conduct policy. So basically, okay. I'm going to give you an example. Jim Irsay, who I think is a clown. I really think that guy... Yeah. That guy was snorting, had drugs in his car, DUI, and he had $50,000 cash. And he was with women too. Remember, he had like 3 or 4 girls.
Yeah.
And what happened is he was suspended 6 games.
Okay.
When you're an owner, when you're when you're now, because he could have killed somebody.
Right. What he was all high and like
The NFL right now, they made a statement that said they're aware of the situation. They're gonna see what goes on with the development.
Right.
I think what's gonna happen is you know how Roger Goodell is. Here we go. Because if Roger Goodell tries to take away draft picks again from us for this, and your boy Bart Scott's got a big mouth and likes to run it.
Can't wait.
And saying we should be stripped of draft picks for what? What does this have to do with football? Nothing. Has nothing to do with football. Just happens to be he owns the best football team in the world. So it's
like if you're gonna take a pick, like maybe a 6th or 7th rounder. I mean, like nothing too serious.
Take one of our whatchamacallit, the compensatory. Patriots have 6 picks in the first 101 picks.
No, you guys aren't losing no draft pick. Like
so, he's just clowning around and all that stuff.
It feels like he'll be suspended like 2 to 4 games. I mean, if Irsay was only 6 for that, which was way more severe than what Kraft did, like he can't be any more than like 2 to 4 games.
And Jim Irsay was arrested and spent time in jail too.
Yes, it's a different situation. Maybe Kraft will spend a little bit of time, but not how long was Irsay in there?
I think it was 30 days. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there's no way Kraft's getting more than 30 days.
But listen, Robert Kraft, is he taking illegal drugs? No. He's not.
And he's not driving under the influence either. So, yes, it's a way different story, but 2 owners
All right, this is where Meek Mill is going to come in and help him out. Meek Mill is going to pick up Robert Kraft from if he goes to jail in a helicopter.
You know what's really funny about that? Kraft was actually at the Sixers game the other day, like the Sixers-Lakers game. Everyone was wondering what he was doing there. Maybe he was chilling with Meek, although I saw he was talking with Magic Johnson, so that was funny.
Robert Kraft is all over the place, man.
Yeah,
and have you noticed nobody has anything negative to say about him, too?
Apparently they booed him in Philly, though. But I get why. It is Philly.
Well, they shouldn't be booing him. They beat us in the Super Bowl. So
yeah, I mean, okay, well, I think we've exhausted Kraft for
now. All we could say is we could both agree. I do agree with you that what Jim Irsay did a few years ago is much worse than this.
Yeah.
If it comes out that says that Robert Kraft knew about this and he helped them bring it over, yeah, that's another thing. But no, I don't think he did that. So
yeah, all right. So
we'll
let's
move
get on to some more fun topics for the NFL. So free agency season's approaching.
My favorite time of the year.
Yes, Bobby's gonna have his big predictions. He has 3 of them typed out already. So I like what I saw with those. Also, combine stuff coming up. We got Antonio Brown on the trade block still. They officially cut the axe, and for lack of a better term, with the Steelers. He talked to Rooney. They both said, okay, let's get this done. We got to move on. The GM was acting like they won't trade him that easily, but he's just saying that to make his value hold up, because I saw on NFL Network he was saying we won't trade him unless it benefits us, but you guys aren't getting more than a 3rd or 4th rounder, in my opinion.
Oh, listen. If they think they're getting a 1st or 2nd round pick for somebody who's 31 years old, you're out of your mind.
No, especially with the cap hits, too. Although I know his contract is complicated. Could you explain this to me, actually? I'm not sure if you could, but they say that even if they trade Brown, the Steelers are still liable for his cap, and they take the cap hit. I don't understand how that works.
It's like dead money. But when you trade that big of a, it's just the way that sometimes the NFL works. And one of your best players, you sign him to a massive deal like they did, that if you let him go, like cut him, that's dead money on your cap, and you still have to take.
Even if you trade him, why? Okay, let's say the Jets trade for him, for example. Why? So we won't have to pay any of his salary this year. You're saying it's all the Steelers paying?
No. You still got to pay him.
Oh, but they pay it too.
But here's the thing: they're not going to get. Let me put it to you this way:
they don't get a fresh $21 million.
No. It still takes it away.
Okay.
So basically, you guys will have to take.
We'll still pay him, obviously. But that's so weird because he's only getting paid by one team, but the Steelers still get hit with the dead money. That's really weird.
It's a big problem. Jules? Here's another thing. Why do you think sometimes teams want to release players and they don't? It's because of the dead money. Yeah,
right. So my thing is, if they trade him after this year, are they off the hook at least? Or
yeah.
No. It's just a 1-year situation.
I think if I'm not mistaken, it's always a 1-year thing.
Oh, okay. So the dead money situation only applies for a year.
So my question is this: I think he has 4 years left or 3 years left on his deal?
Yeah, I think it's something like that. I could try to look up his exact contract if you want.
But
let's see what the story is.
But until you say that, I'll say I think we could both agree. We could throw it out there. There were 3 teams that have expressed interest, and nobody knows. We've heard some rumors. So you want me to say who they are?
Yes, and I have his contract out. Oh, something happened with the phone, but I had his contract out in front of me. Should be getting it back any second. But go ahead.
There were 3 teams that expressed interest so far for AB.
Yeah, that's what the GM had said.
And GM Kevin Colbert, that's what he said. He said that there are 3 teams. No teams have been announced.
Right.
Of course they're not.
They don't want to announce them. You can't putting it out in the spotlight.
So who do we think it is? So I'm going to tell you who we both agree. I think the Jets are definitely one of them, of course. I heard a rumor that the Colts are interested, and I'll say if he went there to have him with T.Y. Hilton and Andrew Luck, that just changes that team. And a 3rd team can be the 49ers, which makes a lot of sense. That's where he wants to go. And a lot of people are talking about this now, the Green Bay Packers, because I could see this happening. And Aaron Rodgers, you give that man Antonio Brown, and then he has Devontae Adams on opposite sides. That's scary. You agree, Jules? That's scary.
Yes.
They're getting rid of the garbage on the team with Randall Cobb. He's out.
He's got to go. I could not agree more.
That AB changes that offense. He makes them more lethal. It gives them another option other than Devontae, because also, in my opinion, they didn't have a lot of. They had some okay guys. Jimmy Graham is in the witness protection program right now.
Let's just tell it how it is.
So what I'll say is, if he went to Green Bay, I think that's a perfect match.
Yeah, that's a nice fit.
And also, they have Geronimo Allison, who's a restricted free agent.
Geronimo Allison.
And I'll say this, I can tell you this right now. I think he makes a lot of sense for you guys.
Interesting.
So
I think the Packers will keep him though, personally, but we'll see. It depends.
If they get AB, they're not keeping him.
Oh, okay. All right. I see that. That makes some sense.
So what's his contract?
Okay, I did figure it out. So in 2017, they signed him for 4 years and $68 million. And he wants a pay raise, and now I understand why. At first, I was a little confused by that, but he's only making $12 million. It's just that the dead cap hit is up to 21, like we were talking about before. And then the next year, I believe, is around 11. This phone is being really weird. Like, I have the contract page up, but it keeps like closing me out. It's really annoying me. But okay, let me see if I can actually.
So basically,
all right, okay, I have it. So 2019, this year, he's making. Actually, he gets around 15 million total, I think, because there's the roster bonus, the signing bonus is like 4,000, and like it says the roster's 2.5 and the restructure 3.2. Like, I'm guessing the roster's like if he makes a team, I don't know, but so I guess around 15 million once you factor everything in. Then the next year it's a similar number, and then in 2021 it looks like there's a potential out. And then the dead cap hits only $7 million at that point. So he wants, I think, a little more, I'm guessing, but if someone trades for him, I doubt they're going to redo his deal. Probably.
No.
For a 31-year-old wide receiver, probably not. But let's see what. So he is getting traded no matter what. Whatever. Don't listen to what the Steelers GM is saying. They have to trade him. It's already over. Like, he's done. They're done. No matter what happens, he's getting traded somewhere before the new league year. It also has to be before the new league year, which is March 13th. So Packers might be the best fit on paper, or Colts, in my opinion. 49ers is a nice fit, too, because George Kittle and him would be a really nice tandem, even though Kittle's a tight end.
And that gives Jimmy Garoppolo another toy.
Jimmy G, another target to help his development a little further. And for us, okay, I'll break it down. Because there's like, I'm 60-40 kinds of on if I want him or not. Because the 60s obviously is a great receiver. We need a number one threat. He'll make the short passes, long passes. He'll help Sam out. Well, we can target it 10 times a game. He won't complain about targets because he'll be our best player. So we'll be throwing it to him all the time. The only problem is he's not a very team-oriented guy, and he's very about himself. And in the New York media, the spotlight, I can see it going to his head, being very problematic and diva-ish, as the wide receivers often are. I just don't want turmoil in the locker room, but on the field, it's like a perfect fit. Even if he's 31, I still think he has 2 to 3 solid years in him, maybe even 4, because he's a different breed, in my opinion. I know a lot of people say the wideouts fall off in their early 30s, but Brown is just a different animal to me. Maybe he will. We'll see. But what do you think about his fit in the Jets?
Well, the thing is with the Jets, you know what? That gives Sam Darnold another target because, in my opinion, Quincy Enunwa is a very, very talented guy, but, ever since that back injury, have you noticed he gets injured very easily? That's one knock on him. You guys brought him back. Robbie Anderson is hot and cold, but, I feel like, he could heat it up.
He's also restricted, but I'm pretty sure he's not going anywhere.
No. So, however, other than that, you got Chris Herndon at tight end.
Yeah, Herndon's nice. I like Herndon.
But another thing is, I feel like if you got AB, I think that would make Le'Veon Bell want to go to you guys because he's
even
best.
More, you think? Actually, yeah. So, that's an interesting point you make because I know those two are pretty tight, and I'm pretty sure Brown was very upset with how that situation was handled.
That's another reason.
Part of the reason why he's not happy with the Steelers organization because I know him and Bell are boys. And that would be exciting to have them both on the field together at the same time. God, man, that offense would be so much.
Not for me, it won't be.
It'll be real fun for me. That would be the best offense I've ever seen.
So
for the Jets, at least.
What I'll say is everything you said, I agree with you 100%. He's a cancer to the locker room.
That's what worries me. Yes.
What he's going to bring is negative press to the Jets, and that's something you guys are trying to get out of.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You guys have literally, you know what? You guys haven't been competitive in years. And you know what? You've seen all the negative press you guys get. You guys want to get rid of the clown show that it was.
Yeah.
And now you guys are really starting to build up. You got that quarterback you needed.
Yeah.
You made the right choice. You guys you guys made a mistake, I feel, signing some players.
Well, Tremaine is the glaring one unless he wakes up
But you know what? Look at what you guys did this so far. You got Adam Gase as a head coach. He could change around the offense and work with Darnold.
Yeah.
You got Greg Williams to run the defense because, last year your defense under Todd Bowles, that's his bread and butter, and literally it was garbage.
Yes, it was
but
trash.
Listen.
Except Jamal Adams.
The thing is, too.
And Leo and Williamson.
The one thing now is you don't need negative press.
I agree with you.
The Jets, you know what? You guys want to get back to just playing football. You don't need to be in the press for some stupid stuff.
Like AB.
And Antonio Brown, with him going there, I could see him basically, if he doesn't get what he wants, he's going to go in the locker room, cry and whine. He calls himself now Mr. Big Chest. And that stupid little blonde mustache he does now, he looks like an idiot. And I'm going to tell you this. I talked to somebody, my buddy Shane, from who I work with. He said this too. AB has turned into this generation's
Ocho Cinco, T.O.
No, T.O.
Oh, yeah,
that's what he turned into.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Between T.O. and Ocho, there's a difference. Ocho Cinco would complain, but he would stop it. Once he put his point out, he wouldn't keep it going. He shut it up.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Ocho, in my opinion, I'm not going to get off track. I'll just say I think Ocho Cinco was one of the best receivers to ever play. I think he's very good.
He might have Hall of Fame credentials, potentially. Have to look more at his overall numbers. But Owens was obviously better than him, but he was a head case. I mean, someone actually said the same thing you said. Someone's like he's one workout in his driveway away from being T.O. with doing the sit-ups.
Whoever said that, that's like spot on. And the thing is,
I forgot who it was. I wish I remembered, but I was like, damn, they're right.
In my opinion, I truly thought that AB was that guy, who's just going to be the face of the Steelers. And I'm going to say this, you know what? I'm gonna start now real quick. I'm gonna go this real fast on the Steelers organization. This team that is tied right now with us now for the most championships, six Super Bowls. They haven't done anything since they got their behinds kicked by the Packers 10 years ago.
Right. Well, and they won the Super Bowl, obviously.
They won the Super Bowl,
James Harrison, but ever since then, I get what you're saying.
And if you see James Harrison coming out, you see Hines Ward coming out, what do they say? Who's the problem? It's Mike Tomlin and Ben Roethlisberger. Mm-hmm. Ben Roethlisberger is, listen, I don't like that man at all. He's a rapist.
I don't care for him either.
He's a rapist.
You know that.
And he reminds me of this. You know what? I'm big on movies and shows, and I watch Netflix, and there's a show called 13 Reasons Why.
Okay.
And there's a guy in the show who's, his name is Bryce, and he raped girls in high school and all. And it forced a girl to kill herself in the show. He was a real piece of garbage in the show, but it's a really good show. The guy who plays Bryce is a very good actor too.
Oh, okay.
However, what my point is, I feel in a way that's what Big Ben is. Ben Roethlisberger will have the crappiest game. He threw 5 picks against the Jaguars. And he blamed it on them for not running the right routes.
And then there was that one time he was trying to blame AB in the red zone, I think, against Denver. Remember that one where he broke down against Denver? He also he couldn't beat the Oakland Raiders this year. Like, come on, dude.
No, the thing is,
whose fault is that?
Here's the thing, Ben Roethlisberger. He
loves to point the finger at everyone else besides himself. He never takes accountability for what he does wrong, and it really pisses me off.
No,
because I don't like him at all. He's a dick, like you said. He's not a good person at all. He's very arrogant.
He thinks of who he is, and you know what? I'm gonna say this. You know what?
He's a good quarterback. He's a Hall of Famer and all that, but
I'll tell you this. You want my opinion? I think he's a decent quarterback, and I think he's had so many players around him that have made him good. Antonio Brown, I'm sorry, without Antonio Brown, the numbers you have right now, Ben, you wouldn't have without him. Without Emmanuel Sanders, because Emmanuel Sanders did so much for you.
He was good.
And then you had Mike Wallace, and and I've noticed this. Emmanuel Sanders left. AB wants to leave. Mike Wallace left. When they were asked about the Steelers, what do they say? They don't want to talk about it. Nobody liked. I've gotten this impression that nobody likes playing for the Steelers. And Mike Tomlin does not stick up for Mike Tomlin. Let me tell you this. Never mind the Jets being a clown show. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are a reality show.
Well, that's what Jesse James said. Remember his quote that were the Kardashians?
Yeah,
he was so funny and it was so true.
It's you know what, the Steelers. They have some of the best players
and resources
in
the NFL.
And the fact of the matter is they just can't put it together to win a championship, and it blows my mind because they should be you see how the Patriots are in the AFC Championship game every year? That should be the Steelers. It should be Steelers Patriots every year.
They had, 4 to 5 years of Bell, Brown, and Roethlisberger.
They should have at least won 2 Super Bowls. Come on now.
They didn't get
Come
nothing.
On. They didn't
get nothing.
And then
crazy.
it's so much inconsistency. It's truly upsetting for a football fan. Well, for me, I could care less.
Well, it actually helps you. But
however, of course. However, to be the best, you got to beat the best.
Right.
So
I agree with that. For sure.
I'm going to quote the great Ric Flair, whose birthday is he's just turned 70. Woo. To be the man, you got to beat the man, and that's the way I feel. And the Steelers can't beat the best teams. The Steelers do not go. Steelers got to win against us this year, and what did they do after that? Nothing.
Literally nothing.
I think the Steelers, in my opinion, you know what? Maybe AB agreed. He's time to move on. So did Art Rooney. You know what? A fresh start. In my opinion, I think they should have did this a while ago, because I think AB held this in
it was
to a point.
festering for a bit.
And one thing too, brother, if you could agree with me, you want to know what really ticks off AB? Is that Juju is taking over.
Yeah,
that really bothers him.
That's what I don't like about him coming over to us, is he doesn't like to share the spotlight really, except if it was Lev Bell like that, he would be fine with that, obviously, but we don't have a wide receiver that can really threaten him, which is why this could work maybe, but we'll see. I don't know. I don't think it's us ultimately. I think it's 49ers. That's what I've been saying for a while. I think they'll give up the
49ers,
most.
Yeah, 49ers and Packers make the most sense.
Yes, and they also said they want to keep him out of the AFC.
So basically, let's put it this way. He's going to the NFC. Let's put it that way.
Unless they don't care about us or Colts, but he's not going to. They said specifically you guys and the AFC North.
Because if he went to the Patriots, Tom Brady, Brady would throw to him at least 15 times a game.
Please no. Thank God the Steelers are smart enough not to do that. And I'll say the same thing while we talk about trading receivers to you guys. If the Giants trade OBJ to the Patriots, they need to be stripped as an organization. And I'm sure Giant fans will agree with me.
Well, right now, Patriots fans would love that. However, right now we're focused on the combine and free agency, and all I'm just gonna say is, in the draft, I feel that right now our focus is. I think we should bring back Josh Gordon. I think he fits what we do, and Odell. Let me tell you something. We get Odell, I'll be the first one to say, I'm gonna love this guy. What he brings to the team, and you know what? I talked to people yesterday about this. People ask me, they're like, do you think AB and OBJ are like the way they act is similar? And I'm going to say this, you know what? I used to criticize OBJ for his attitude and his behavior, but here's the thing. Do you see him when he gets off the football field, Jules? Do you see him acting stupid like this, like AB? No.
Well, we've seen some situations, but
like
it's not as bad as it.
The thing when he was in a bed with a woman smoking weed and all that and asking her to sleep with his friend.
Or whatever,
yeah. But other than that, do you see? Does he?
No.
Did he publicly make a statement that he wants guaranteed money?
No.
He said he wanted an extension. He did not hold out. He went to camp and he earned it. So you know what I'm going to say? You know what? I think he changed the way. He's passionate and he cares about football. In my opinion, Antonio Brown cares about one person and one thing: Antonio Brown.
I mean,
that's the problem.
To me, it's like I was talking about this the other day. OBJ honestly looks like a church boy compared to AB.
Yes, I agree.
AB's been going crazy. Like OBJ's had his moments, he had his blow-ups. You see them on the sideline like in the previous years. And the thing with Josh Norman was very alarming. But all that stuff seems to be in the rear view. He got paid. He got injured last year. He's doing what he can. He is more focused, concerned with the team than AB is, though. You could definitely tell that. So I think that AB's attitude is definitely way more toxic than Odell Beckham's.
No, I agree. I agree 100%, man. And, AB, he has talent. Don't waste it by running your mouth and acting stupid.
He should take a note from my boy in Atlanta, Julio Jones. He's a model citizen.
You know what?
He's the best receiver in the game.
Julio Jones never runs his mouth.
This is why.
Never gets his respect. Julio Jones literally just comes to work every day.
He's quiet
and just puts up these absurd numbers.
And he doesn't complain about the offense not being involved and all the stuff that's been happening. He could have very well complained last season when he had 3 touchdowns that he wasn't getting the ball more in the red zone. But he never did. He was always kept his head down. He kept working. He has a great attitude. He's like, we'll figure it out. He's like, it takes time to adjust. He doesn't
bash his teammates.
Throw anyone under the bus ever. Like, he loves Matt Ryan. Like, he would never throw Ryan under the bus for anything. Those two are a great pair, obviously.
Yeah.
I just love Jones's attitude and how he plays in the field. So, all right. Now let's get to Mr. Bell. This is big news. I'm happy. I was complaining about the Steelers' pettiness of the transition tag, and they finally decided to grow up and not do that. So he's a free agent, as he should be. They have no right anymore to control him after everything that's happened. He obviously doesn't want to play for you. There's nothing you can do. Like, they were trying to say we're going to look at the market and see if we can match the offer. Just stop it. You're not matching any offer. You don't want him. You could have paid him. Just let him be. Enough is enough. Thankfully, they finally have freed him.
Yeah, and you know what? It was he quoted Martin Luther King on Twitter.
I was about to get to that. Yeah,
free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we're free at last.
I was laughing.
So listen, Le'Veon Bell. Listen, he held out. He bet on himself. Yeah. He took a year off. He has fresh legs.
The reports on being overweight, I think, are overblown. But
I don't think there's no way he's 225. He didn't blow up to 260. Okay.
And even if he did. I think he's lost some of that, and we still have 6 months till he's got to play a game.
I think, in my opinion, he gained like 15 or 20 pounds and lost it.
It could be,
and it probably – and listen, he could – even if he did gain 20 pounds, he'll still light it up too. Le'Veon Bell is the best running back in football. I'll say this right now. He is.
I think so. You can make that case because the way he catches the ball and the way he blocks, he's a complete three-down back.
Well, the thing is with him, his pass blocking is – it's okay, but everything else it makes up for it.
Oh, okay. But I thought it was a little better.
You're not asking great, Antonio.
It's not like I need him to be like a down lineman or anything. I mean, as long as it's decent, we're fine.
He's not out there to block, to pass block. He'll chip and then he'll come out for a pass.
Yeah,
That's where he does his damage, and then his patient
running.
Where he gets the handoff and he's very patient, and then he
everyone
sprints for a 60-yard touchdown.
Yeah, everyone tries to do the Lev
Yeah,
Bell.
Try to imitate it.
He's a transcending running back. He's created his own running style, and it's very great. But the issue is that, okay, brother, I need to get something off my chest because Jet fans have been bothering me, and I love Jet fans, but sometimes we're just a little too. I'm not sure how to say this, but. What do I say? We're just a little too...
Annoying?
No, not annoying, but we're just pessimistic. There we go.
Okay.
We're too pessimistic about certain things. Like, I see people saying, oh, we can't get Bell because we need linemen. Like, you
guys have over $100 million. You can do whatever you want.
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm like, it's not like we have $20 million. We have $100. That's what I said one time. When people are like, no, we can't get Bell because our line's bad. What are you talking about? You get Bell, then you fix the line.
The Steelers' offensive line was decent. It was never the best.
No,
if he had a better,
no, it was never the best.
He would have over 2,000 yards every season if he had a really good offensive line.
Imagine if he was on the Dallas Cowboys line 2-3 years ago. He would have had 2,000 yards probably.
And listen, Le'Veon Bell right now, what we'll say and what we could get into with this guy is that he's looking to get paid and he wants $48 million over the first 3 years. That's $16 million a year. That's doable.
Yes.
So I'm going to tell you this. Right now, you know what? I'm going to give you a little preview of my...
Yes, Bobby already broke this down deeply, so go ahead.
So basically, right now, what I'm going to post within the next couple of days is the top... I was going to do top 50, but trust me, it's going to take me a while. I changed it to top...
It's very extensive.
Top 25 free agents and where I think they'll land with my predictions. Well, the number one free agent is Le'Veon Bell. Well, I'll tell you this right now. You
added Foles, too.
Yeah. He's number 4. Okay. So basically, Le'Veon Bell is the number one free agent, and he's going to have quite a few suitors. And the suitors that are going to be in for him are, of course, the Jets. I think Indy, the Colts have the most cap space with 107. Yes. They'll be in it. There's reports Philadelphia Eagles are in it. They have no money. They have negative 16 in cap, by the way. Negative 16.
They're like them in Jacksonville, very bad with money right now.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Houston Texans is a pretty decent landing spot. They have $80 million, so they have cap space.
Yes, well, I actually see 74. I have the figures for top 10, unless they did something to make you make it 80.
Oh, 70. They have $74 million, and then the Baltimore Ravens, I said, and they have $50 million. So basically, I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm going to say the most logical landing spot is the Jets. because they're desperate need at the running back position because Crowell did not do it for them.
No.
And their high cap number. But Le'Veon Bell a few years ago publicly said he would not sign with the Jets unless they give him $100 million.
Yes.
Well, he said that again a few days ago on TMZ and said it better be $100 million and then I'll go there. So he's keeping that going. So we'll see if that changes. In my opinion, you asked me about a month and a half ago where I thought he was going to land. It made too much sense. The Colts. Because he, all year round during the season, what did he say? I love Andrew Luck.
Yeah, he was gassing up Indy a lot.
He loves Andrew Luck. It would be a perfect matchup for them. They haven't had a running back like this in a very long ever, in my opinion. Well, they had Eric Dickerson. They had Marshall Faulk for a little bit.
Was nice.
Edgerrin James. So that would add to that list.
Yeah.
However, they've publicly said they like Marlon Mack and they like Wilkins and Hines and they feel like
they have a lot of guys.
Yeah, they feel like they have bigger fish to fry than running back position. So I'm going to tell you this, my prediction, real fast. You know where I think he's going to end up? He's going to go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Whoa!
He's going to go to the Tampa Bay
Buccaneers.
Buccaneers.
That's a bold prediction, brother.
And here's why. I predicted that they're going to give him 5 years, $80 million with $55 million guaranteed, and that's the highest paid running back in football. That eclipses Todd Gurley's 4 years, $60 million. I forgot the number he got for guaranteed money. I think it was 30 or 40, something like that. I don't know. So basically, why I feel he's gonna go to the Buccaneers, and I'm gonna say it right now, is Bruce Arians. I think he's gonna look at the Buccaneers, especially one because it's in Florida and the tax numbers are low.
Yes,
number
that'll
one,
help the contract negotiations a bit.
And he's in Miami all the time, so Florida he loves.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Here's number two. Bruce Arians' offense is built for a pass-catching running back to flourish.
That's true.
Le'Veon Bell is the best, and I say this. Bell is going to flourish in that system with Bruce Arians, and he's going to do better than what David Johnson did when Bruce Arians was coaching the Cardinals.
That would be something because DJ went off.
And the Bucs, they're in desperate need of a running back, especially because Peyton Barber is a free agent this year, and he's completely inconsistent. He shows up one game with 100 yards and 2 scores, and then for the next 6 weeks he doesn't even eclipse 50.
He's just not that good.
He's not that guy, and they need a running back to be successful. Ronald Jones, the second-round pick out of USC, is Mr. Injury Prone, and
come on, Ronald.
So
come back.
We gotta see what happens. Jacquizz Rodgers is on every down back. It just makes too much sense. The Buccaneers makes too much sense. He will draw people into Tampa, especially because now I'm going to say this. I'm going to gas up Tampa. I love the city of Tampa. We love the city of Tampa. We love what it brings. Everything's so laid back. And you know what? It will really draw a crowd, and it makes that offense, especially with Mike Evans. You got Godwin. You got O.J. Howard, Cameron Brate.
Yeah.
If they decide to bring back Deshaun Jackson, and if they get Bell, oh, my God. That offense, if you guys don't put up 35 to 40 points per game, I don't know what else, because offense is scary. So the only knock on them is the quarterback position. Jameis Winston, this is his last chance, but Bruce Arians said it's mechanical. Maybe he could change it.
Yeah,
so
if one guy could trust him, I think it's Bruce.
So all I'll say is this. All I'll say right now, and I'll let Julian say what he thinks, is I personally believe out of all those 6 suitors, I think the Buccaneers are going to land them with that contract. 5 years, $80 million, $55 guaranteed.
Well, okay. So I want to break down some cap figures for the top 10 cap space teams. So Indy, as Bobby mentions, has 107. My New York Jets, second with 102. Nice. Buffalo Bills, third with 83. Cleveland Browns have 4 with 78. And then the 49ers have 76 and 5th, and now the Houston Texans have 74, which is why they could possibly be in this Bell sweepstakes. The only thing is that they need to franchise Clowney, and that's going to cost a lot of money, and they're going to probably try to address other things, so I don't know if they're really that prominent for him, but they're a sleeper in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then Oakland Raiders have 7 with 69. Seattle has 52, they're in 8th. Bengals 9.
Is the Browns on there or no?
Yeah, Browns are 4.
How much do they have?
They have 78. I believe.
They'll always have money.
I know, and they just have Hunt, and they just got Hunt and Chubb now, too. So the Browns are looking good. They're in a good spot. And the Ravens are also a dark horse at 50, but I saw something that said they won't do it. We'll see. Maybe more of a Mark Ingram for the Ravens. But
yeah, that makes too much sense.
Yeah, so I'm going to show faith in my team. I think we get it done. I think we're posturing right now, saying the stuff about the weight, and that was also Manish that published that. I don't even know if how legitimate that is. Like I don't even know if anyone in our organization actually even said that. So the one thing that we were concerned about him, I think they said they were nervous about his motivation for not playing for a year. Like if once he gets paid, would he not be as good? Maybe that one's true. I mean, okay, he sat out for a year. Like maybe there's some legs to that one, but I think it's posturing. I think we're just trying to lower his price on the negotiating table by saying we're not going to break the bank for him, so he doesn't think, oh, we're just going to hand him a blank check. But I hope that we give him a fair, competitive offer, something like a 3 for $50, maybe like a 4, 60-ish type to get him past Todd Gurley, maybe even 4 for $65 if we have to. I can't go 5 years with him. I don't want to do 5 years because I don't think he'll last that long. He is still a running back.
Yeah.
So maybe, I mean, he'll still play probably, but I don't know if you're getting 5 good years of that money if you sign him for that contract you said.
He's young, so I think that, you know what, he'll get 5, but maybe and he'll get the 5-year deal, but maybe they'll trade him somewhere. So whoever gets it, we'll see. You know, we got to see what happens.
Well, you're saying you think we would sign him then trade him later on?
No. I'm saying if you get him and in like the last 2 years of his deal, he's not putting up the numbers and he's causing problems and saying he wants to get paid more, then you guys could just whoever gets him, dump him. I'm saying I don't think that's going to happen. I think he'll put up numbers every year he plays. You see it.
Okay.
And he's just got to stay healthy because he gets bitten by the injury bug sometimes.
Yeah, that's another thing, although he should be relatively fresh since he hasn't played in the year.
Exactly.
But I think that we are going to be in it. I think we'll get it done because I think we realize we have to, in my opinion, because he's the check down for Sam Darnold. He'll help the running game. We'll make the passing game better. It checks off all the boxes.
It opens everything up.
Yes, it would really help us. And to me, he's more imperative than Antonio Brown. So that's what I would do if I had to choose between the two of them. Yeah. Also, this is, I've said, I will continue to stress this, and I'm going to do Jets offseason talk a lot, and you'll be helping me with it for the most part. I need to stress that this is the biggest offseason in the past 10 years for the Jets. Like, this is it, guys. We haven't made the playoffs in 8 years. We have our franchise quarterback. We have tons of cap space. He's got 3 years, so he's got to get paid. So it's time to get players on this team.
And you know what? Mike McCognan's time is running out because if he messes up this one, he's out. So.
Yes, because he drafted Christian Hackenberg, so he's very lucky he still has a job just based off that.
Yeah.
In the second round, the guy can't even play in the AAF. Don't even get me started with that. Oh my God. So what else should we get into with this football talk?
You know what? There's really not that much. All we could say right now is basically, Nick Foles. I'll just say, with that, we don't need to really get in depth with that. I'll just say this: he might get tagged for $25 million and get traded. And I think the logical place, if you know what, they might just tag him. They might just let him go, and I could see Jacksonville.
Yeah,
it just makes too much sense.
I think that he's going to get let go. I don't think they can afford to take the cap hit.
No, the Eagles can't afford to take the cap hit,
I can't see this
and
happening.
neither could the Jaguars. But the Jaguars will find a way to get it.
No, the Jaguars are going to have to cut some players to open up their space.
Yeah,
I guess. But the thing is that the Eagles are just trying to be controlling, and they don't want them going to the Redskins or Giants.
Yeah,
that's why they're trying to do this. But honestly, Foles is going to get cut probably, and he's going to be a Jaguar, I would bet.
It just makes too much sense.
Yeah, because they got DeFilippo down there now, and he wants him. And the Jaguars need a veteran quarterback. They don't need to be experimenting with a rookie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think Foles will be a Jaguar. And then Russell Wilson to the Giants.
Right.
This is a big, interesting story. Maybe people don't think it's much, but I think me and Bobby actually think this has some legs.
Yeah, you know what? Seattle is not doing anything to help Russell Wilson. They're not bringing any pieces to help succeed like when they won the Super Bowl and went back to the Super Bowl. Russell Wilson is doing it all on his own. Doug Martin could only do so much by himself. Personally, the running game is mediocre at best. The defense is not what it used to be. So, you know what? I think the team should just go. You could see it. The Giants could offer a lot of stuff.
Like they have the 6th overall pick, which is very appealing.
Yeah, and you know what?
Great starting
point. They could go get a young quarterback. Russell Wilson signed the extensions and all that. However, I feel that
happy in Seattle.
No, he's not 100% happy and all that. But
and he only has 1 year left on his deal, so that's why this is very
exactly
relevant stuff, because if he doesn't want to sign, he's gone. And then at that point, I think the Giants would definitely get him. If he somehow hits the open market, I don't know how you can't get him.
It just makes too much sense.
Think about Russell, Odell, and Barkley together. How are you stopping that triple threat?
Nope, exactly.
You got to do the option games. You got the deep balls. You got Russell running. You got Barkley running. Oh, yeah.
And you got Russell Shepard who can make some plays. Sterling Shepard, yeah.
Well, actually, this may be Shep's last year, so I don't know if he'll still be there. Unless they get Russ this year, we'll see. But that would be a great thing for Giants. I think they have to do everything in their power to get him. If there's even the smallest chance possible, you got to go make that happen. Even if you got to throw Eli to the curb, at this point, just do that and just go get him. Because Eli is actually just an outside chance he gets cut, I think, because his cap hit is very big this year.
His cap hit's very big, and he throws way too many interceptions. He's not the guy he used to be.
Yeah.
He's not that guy who's going to make those miraculous plays to win Super Bowls.
No.
Those days are over.
No.
And you know what? His time in New York is numbered. I know Giants fans are being naive about that,
no,
but
some aren't.
But
I've talked to some that are very aware of what's going on.
There's a certain somebody on ESPN who's a moron who says Tom Brady falling off a cliff. No, Eli Manning fell off the cliff already.
Well, yeah, Eli's been on a decline.
Listen, the Giants, if they don't go and get Russell Wilson, if try to make an attempt, then Dwayne Haskins is the guy, and we all know what's going to happen. And look, that's all we got.
Yeah, so I think Eli most likely gets one more year, unless they somehow get Russ. Then Eli's gone, obviously.
Yeah,
but
so
we'll have to see how that all goes. That's a couple months of developments. We'll see.
Yeah, so
let's go over some dates again. So speaking of the Giants, there's Landon Collins, who most likely won't be back. I saw you had tweeted this. So this whole story with him cleaning out his locker, what's going on with that?
Well, there's been conflicting reports. You know, Josina Anderson, who is a great reporter, reported that Landon Collins cleaned out his locker the other day. Last week, he hugged teammates and coaches and said his goodbyes, and he left. Now, she reported that, and then hours later, somebody said he did not do that. Well, he tweeted and said he threw away some old stuff he didn't need. I think he's just backtracking. Yeah, backtracking.
I think it's somewhere in the middle of both.
I think, personally,
that's what I think.
Here's what I'm going to say. He will not be back with the Giants.
No, there's almost no way.
And you know what? I've talked to a few Giants fans, especially Shane, who, when he listens to this, he'll laugh. He told me, and he knows a lot about the Giants, since it's his life. He said that Landon Collins is a liability in pass coverage, and a lot of people.
I've heard that before too.
And you
Scott
know what?
Says the same thing.
And
actually,
you know what? You guys could find somebody in this year's draft who's younger and better in pass coverage than what Landon Collins is offering, so you don't have to spend that much money on him. So, with all that being said, if the Giants aren't going to re-sign him, where's he going to go? My opinion, it makes too much sense. The Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah.
They need they do have Malik Hooker. But their other safety is, I don't know who it is. It's not that good. But imagine Hooker and Collins. That's pretty good to load up on that defense. So, you know, in a way, I think that the Colts, this would be a big signing. They're going to make a lot of moves.
Yeah.
And this would just
cap,
be
a
perfect one for the Indianapolis Colts. What do you think, Jules?
Yeah, so I agree with what you're saying. I think a dark horse, an interesting one, could be Falcons for him. I think they can use him on that defense, and I think defense obviously needs a lift
because they don't have safety. Their safety position is weak, except Neal.
Keanu Neal, yeah.
To add, that'd
be a nice combination. I'd like to see the Falcons get some fire back on that defense because last year their defense left them out to dry at a million injuries, but. I think ultimately you're right, but I like Falcons as a nice dark horse for him. I don't know what exactly their cap numbers are yet, but I'm assuming they can make it work since someone brought it up. I saw it somewhere, so
somebody's.
Yeah, well, it's actually a Falcons page I follow. That's
think
where this came.
Colts or Falcons make too much sense.
Yeah, those would be cool spots.
I think if you guys didn't have Jamal Adams or Marcus May, you guys would make a play for him.
Yeah, that's true, but we're locked up with the safeties. But,
you guys are set for life with safety.
Yeah, all right, so let me grab this for a sec. Yeah, so NFL stuff, we gave you a little preview. NFL Combine is coming very soon, I believe March 1st to the 3rd, and then the tampering period is the 11th. But what we need to know before that is that the franchise tagging, March 5th is when that begins.
So March 5th, I will be tweeting, Julian will be tweeting who gets tagged, who does not get tagged.
Yes, we'll have all that information out there as well. So we'll see what happens with the tags, who doesn't, who does. I'm predicting, I'll do a couple quick ones right now. Frank Clark and D Ford are most likely getting tags, in my opinion. Then you're looking at Jadeveon Clowney and Demarcus Lawrence if they can't get long-term deals. I think those are the most notable four people you'll see get tagged.
Yeah. D4, in my opinion...
He's like automatically. He's like the one I'm most sure about.
I think Grady Jarrett...
He could too, actually.
He could,
good
but the thing is, with the Falcons' cap number, I don't think they have that much.
I'm not sure. I'd have to look.
However, I think that's going to be up in the air because that cap hit for defensive play, I think it's like 16 or 17 million.
Yes. Or will they do a long-term deal with Jarrett? I hope the Falcons keep Grady Jarrett, though, because he's a huge part of their defense. Obviously, we know he's in the Super Bowl with the 3 sacks, which I enjoyed, obviously. But he's been a good part of that D-line for a couple years now. Yeah. So I hope the Falcons can find a way to hold on to him.
Yeah, so...
But that's a good addition that I didn't think about that could very well be tagged. So, yeah, NFL stuff, we're going to move forward.
So now, with the NFL... talk, we are now going to focus right now on basketball.
Okay, so Zion talk. Let's just get right to it because that's the hottest topic in the NBA or NCAA right now. So, obviously, you're a big Duke fan, so I was looking forward to talking with you about this. So, Zion goes down of not even a minute into the game. These tickets were like close to the Super Bowl. Poor souls had to pay for those to watch him play 1 minute each. But at least North Carolina won since that's where they were playing, I guess. But regardless, okay, he gets injured. It's a knee sprain. Apparently, he injured his knee once before. I'm not sure if it was in season or like before the season started, they had said. So, everyone's saying he needs to sit out to protect his family. He's the first pick, play it safe and everything. But then there's the side, he's a player. It's Duke. He went there to win the championship. He wants to finish what he started with Coach K. The team's going to need him if he doesn't play. I know you'll agree with me on this. You guys will not win it all if Zion's not in there. I'm sure you agree with that, right?
No, he's a big part of why we're so successful this year.
Yeah.
And, him going down, you saw what happened. We lost.
Yes, the impact he makes.
His impact and his presence on the court was missed, definitely.
Yeah.
And trust me, a lot of people want to see him shut it down for his future, but listen, he's not like that. He's not just going to take the easy way out. He's going to want to play, and he wants to help Duke win a national championship, and I love that about him.
Yes, so, I'm sure you would.
So, with this, people are wondering when he's going to come back. Well, he's not going to come back today against Syracuse.
No, he's not playing against
Probably
Cuse.
Sometime next week. I think, what did my dad just say?
He was actually saying that he thinks they could rest him through Virginia Tech, Miami, and Wake maybe and bring him back for March 9th against North Carolina again.
You know what? I think that's a smart idea. And you know what? With the tournament coming up, March is Friday.
Yes. So here's my take on the whole Zion thing. I understand why people would say he should sit because he's basically the first pick even if he doesn't play another game. And he could jeopardize his status in the draft if he gets injured again. But even if he gets injured, this is a top 3 pick at worst. He's not falling out of the top 3, maybe not even the top 2. Even if he, God forbid, I don't want this to happen to him, tears his ACL, I still think he's a top 3 pick, even with that. Because you saw Joel Embiid was injured, he still got picked first, and that worked out great, obviously.
Yes, it did.
So, you've seen this before, players, and Ben Simmons, too. He was also injured and got picked first. Or maybe after he got picked, but you know what I mean. Regardless, I think Bobby's right. Zion shouldn't shut it down. He made a commitment to Duke. This is their year to win it all. They look good. They play well together. Everyone loves them. He loves playing. He's not one of those guys that's about himself. He's not one of those selfish people that are just trying to protect their money. So I think that he'll be back as well. And maybe around that North Carolina game, or maybe a little bit sooner, to get him nice and ready for the ACC tournament.
He's going to want to play North. And let me tell you, when they play him again, he's going to wreck havoc. I know.
And you guys are home, too, so it's going to be a way different story this time if he's back in there.
So, with Zion, I'm so happy. When I looked at it, I didn't think he tore anything.
Yeah, I saw it, too. I didn't think it was cryptic. I knew he was feeling pain.
Now, I'll tell you this. Those shoes
are shitty.
Those shoes that he used that broke on him.
Yeah, the Nikes.
An 8-year-old designed those.
Are you serious?
For Nike.
Well, actually, yeah,
and
you're
Nike,
probably right.
And Nike fired him.
Oh, my God. Nike's ridiculous, honestly.
But listen, you can't if Zion Williamson, who is arguably the best player in college basketball right now.
I'm not even going to argue he is the best player in college basketball.
If he's going to wear your shoe, Nike, I think you should make something for him that's not going to break, okay?
Yeah, he might need to switch shoes and get a little better support, but we'll see what he does
So
with that.
all I'm going to say is this guy's a potential first-round draft pick, a potential NFL I wish. I'm sorry, NBA.
He probably could play the
NBA
NFL, how
star.
crazy he is.
Yep, potential NBA star, and light it up. So you got to protect your investment. But I'm glad to see that it was just a grade 1 sprain.
Yeah, it's not like the end of the world.
With a few games off and rest, he'll be just fine.
I agree with you.
I think, me personally, that you should sit him exactly until North Carolina and then have him fresh for the tournament,
ACC
because
and
that's
March
where
Madness,
you really
that's where he needs to make it count. Yes. So let's go through his stats quickly. Averaging 21.5 points, he's shooting 68% from the field, basically dunking all of his shots, but it's okay. From 3-point, he's under 30%, but hey, at least he could hit it. From the free throw line, he's 67, which isn't bad for someone of his caliber and like size, strength. Averages 8.8 boards, 2.5 assists, and also has 1.8 blocks with 2.2 steals. He basically does everything.
Yeah.
There's nothing he doesn't do. Let's put it that way. So I'm looking forward to seeing his return, hopefully. March Madness won't be the same without him if he's not in it. So I'm hoping for the sake of the sport that Zion's able to play in March Madness, because how boring would it be without him? He's like the whole appeal, like the draw for March Madness.
I agree.
Everyone's gonna be zooming in for those Zion games in Duke, and you guys are gonna go on a nice run, I think. So, actually, let's tell you this now. We are going to. I will post this video, but this is the big reveal. March Madness time is coming, and we are about to do a bracket challenge for everyone. It's gonna be one or two brackets, $20 a pop. And we're going to reveal our brackets live on one of these shows as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to have another wager with the brackets like Mike and Mike used to do. And we're going to put out all the information when the time comes. But everyone, keep your ears open. Keep your minds open, because we're going to be doing one. Just so you know, if you're looking for March Madness pools, look no further than G&T Sports Talk.
Exactly. So
I'm looking forward to that. Should be a fun time. Selection Sunday's March 17th, so we're getting closer to it.
Mm-hmm.
Around 3 weeks from Sunday. It's going to be great. Can't wait for the tournament to go. Hopefully, like we said, Zion's balling for Duke, and you guys have a good run. So, with that, let's go to the Knicks quickly. Because, of course, Zion and the Knicks are like a match made in heaven, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Knicks fans, including myself, were dreaming about. So we lose again yesterday. Not too surprising. Okay, it's good that we're losing, because the Suns are actually worse than us now. So the tank race is us, the Suns, Cavs, Bulls. The Bulls have pulled ahead a little bit. So the worst three is now Suns, us, and then it's Cavs. So we lose 115 to 104. Rose had 20 points, 3 assists. Gibson had 19 and 10 for them. Doxson had 20 points for us. DeAndre Jordan went hard for us, so 16 points, 19 rebounds, and 2 blocks. He really played well. And Kevin Knox had 18 points and 7 boards. But, yeah, we lost, obviously. So that's that. And I like DeAndre. Hopefully we can keep him. We'll have to see if he wants to take a discount. We get Durant and all that.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens with that. Then 2 notable games I think you would agree with. Raptors and Spurs. And this was the big return for DeMar DeRozan back to the Air Canada Center in Toronto, where he had spent 9 years of his career around. And he received a warm ovation. It was a nice moment, touching moment for the fans in Toronto. Although Kawhi Leonard and the new boys got the last laugh, because Leonard stripped DeRozan and dunked it for the win. Raptors ended up winning 120 to 117. Leonard had 25, 6 and 2. DeMar DeRozan had 23, 4 and 8. And I'm talking about rebounds, assists when I do that. So, yes, they both played pretty well, although Leonard got the upper hand, obviously. Now, this game really drew my attention. How about Jazz and OKC? You see what happened there?
With Paul George's shot.
Yes, and double overtime too. This game was a barn burner.
How do you like my guy, Paul George? He's just like I'll tell you what, I'm a really big fan of Paul George.
He's makes in the MVP race.
You know, he doesn't really get the looks because of Russ. But he still makes the plays. So
yeah. So here's what happened with that. George hit a game winner as like 0.8 seconds left in the double overtime. The floater over Rudy Gobert was a vicious defender. But George, 45 points, 9 boards, 7 rebounds. Filling up the stat sheet. Crazy game.
I know.
Russell Westbrook, 43 points, 15 rebounds, 8 assists. Filling up the stat sheet. Crazy game. Those two are some tandem, man. OKC is looking solid as the third team in the West right now.
Oh
Couldn't they threaten the Warriors? I don't know. I don't know if I go that far because it's really hard to threaten the Warriors with anyone. But they're putting themselves in a decent position to maybe make the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
And then Utah, you had Donovan Mitchell ball out with 38 points. His percentages weren't great, but he scored a lot. Rudy Gobert played a great game, even though he gave up that last bucket. 26 points and 16 rebounds. So those guys are still playing well. OKC gets the win, though. For NBA, let's see what's going on tonight quickly. Because I know the Nets are playing a game. And let's see who you guys got. Oh, okay. You guys are playing in Charlotte. You guys are 500. You guys need to start making a push if you want to improve that playoff seeding. You guys right now are 6th in the conference, although you guys are far behind the Celtics at the 5 spot. You're like 8.5 games behind. I doubt you're catching them, so
yeah,
I'm sure you agree with me on that.
Yeah,
but the issue is you're getting a little congested down at the bottom because the Hornets are only 1 game behind you and you play them tonight. So that's actually a pretty big game. Yeah, they're in the 7th spot. You're in the 6th. And the Pistons are lurking in the 8th spot as well. No, Heat are in the 8th spot. No, it is Pistons. Wow. Pistons are lurking in the 8th spot as well, and they're only a game and a half behind you. So the Nets are going to have to be on top of their game to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens tonight. That's a big game. Also, Philly's playing Portland right now. They're up 12-10 in the first quarter. And Embiid's out for a week, actually. That's one thing I didn't say. His knee has been bugging him, apparently. And I saw when I was down in Florida, they posted he'll be missing a week. So hopefully it's not too severe. They said nothing. There was no ligament damage, so it can't be too bad, hopefully. I think they just want to rest him.
Yeah,
fresh, probably. I mean, they're doing well without him. They won the other day. They still have tons of guys even without him. And then the biggest game of the night, two I'll talk about. Rockets and Warriors. The Rockets will be visiting Golden State. Golden State's running a 9-point favorite right now. And then the big one, Lakers-Pelicans. How about that for everything going on with the Davis and LeBron? Now the Lakers will be in the Pelicans visiting them. Will Davis even play? I don't even know what's going on with that. He got injured before the break. We didn't say this actually. This is big. The Pelicans fired their GM while we were on the show.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, they fired their GM. And also, didn't he get fired because he wanted to sit AD? Wasn't it something that had to do with that?
I think what happened was they didn't like how he handled the situation. I think they wanted him traded, in my opinion. You don't not trade someone when they ask her to be out. You don't let it fester that long.
No, I agree 100%.
Now you have to deal with this the whole year, and God forbid he gets injured, then you don't have the right value for him. The Lakers are literally going to give you their whole team. Just take it.
Exactly.
Like, I don't understand why they didn't take the deal. And that's why he got fired, in my opinion.
Yeah,
he should have just took the deal. It's just, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what they were trying to do. They want to wait it out or something. Like, I talked about maybe they want, like, the Tatum type, or maybe they want, like, our pick for Zion. I don't know. But I think it was the wrong move, and I think they're not going to get that same offer in the summer either, I don't think. Because it's a year, it's a half a year less. So, all right, so I think that was dumb. You agree. So, NBA, we're probably about good with that. Let's see baseball. Baseball. The Yankees are back.
Yeah, baseball's back.
Yankees are back. Let's go. Exciting stuff. I was down in spring training, had some good times there. I'll talk about more.
You were lucky you got to go down there.
Yeah, it was fun. I'll talk about that a little more in the baseball show on Tuesday. And yes, baseball will be back Tuesday, by the way. So that's going to be good again. And we're up Yankees up 1-0 right now. Let's see what happened. Plays. That's not letting me see anything. Oh, man. Well, we're up. Someone hit up. We had 3 hits in a run. I don't know who got it. I wish I could see. But, yeah. All right. Someone did it. So, unfortunately, I can't tell you who at this moment, but it's okay. The Yankees are back and play baseball. That's all that matters.
Yeah, that's it.
So we're running out. Hicks was batting first and center. Gleyber Torres was the second base batting second, and Duhar batting third. At third base, Greg Bird batted cleanup at first. I better not see it again the whole season. Like, I know it's spring training, but oh my god.
Just get him out. I'm tired of this guy.
Yeah, dude. Like,
Luke Voigt is going to win that first base.
Luke! I almost got his autograph, man. I was so close to him.
Is he a big guy?
Yeah, he's huge. He's very, not like a tall sense, but he's very, he's very
That's
cut.
why he hits so many?
Yeah, his videos do him justice. He's a big guy. So, I almost got his autograph, but for Clint Frazier batting 5th. And now Frazier, I have high hopes for, especially since it doesn't look like we'll get Bryce Harper, which is a whole nother story. But Frazier, I'm hoping, wins the job because I think he could be better than Gardner. It doesn't take much at this point to be better than him. So Frazier just needs to at least show he can play decent baseball, and he'll be playing left field for us. So, and the DH is Ford. I don't even know what that is, to be honest. Higgyosha, our catcher, is batting 7th, like our third-string catcher. Then Tyler Wade, who's another guy that doesn't inspire me, is batting 8th. I wouldn't mind just trading him, honestly. Like, throw him in any package you want. I don't care at all. And then the 9th spot is this right fielder named Lipka. And the Cortez is our starting pitcher, who I also don't know. That's what spring training is, though. It's just good to see some guys back out there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So
let's go over some news that happened while we were gone. A couple signings that we missed. The most notable one, Marwin Gonzalez. 2 years for $21 million on the Twins. What do you think about this deal?
Well, I'm kind of disappointed because I felt like we could have went out and got him.
Right.
And he got less than what we paid for DJ LeMahieu. Like what you said yesterday, and that kind of bothers me. But you know what? He could have done everything for us, and we should have just gave him a look. Especially if we're really not in on Harper, which I really hope we are secretly.
Yes, that's what I'm hoping for, but we can't count on it at this point, sadly.
So basically what I feel is he could have been a nice piece in the outfield, switch back and forth. He got what he wanted. He got his money. He's playing for the Twins. I don't think they're going to be that competitive, obviously. So,
so I think this is a good deal for the Twins. They got great value. Like you said, it was less than DJ. It's a very interesting comparison I was looking at before when you compare the two players. Because DJ hit for 276, Marwin was like 257, but DJ's WAR was actually higher than Marwin's, which makes me a little happier about having him instead. But it was only 3.0 to 2.5. These guys are like mirrors of each other in some ways. Although DJ is better defensively if he stays at second. The issue is I don't know how much second he's going to be playing with us, and I don't know how good he is at the other positions, really. That's what worries me about DJ, but we'll have to see. Then Moustakas went back to the Brewers. I don't know if we didn't talk about this. I did
1 year, $10 million.
I think that's a steal for the Brewers,
Absolutely.
honestly. Travis Shaw might be going back to second, makes their lineup that much better. He was good for them when they had him. He's a nice playoff bat, and they expect him to be back in the postseason again next year, so that's a great move. I'm surprised he took so little. I thought someone may have paid a little more.
I thought he would have gone to the Phillies because they lost out on Machado.
Also, White Sox were in play for him, and they were saying in the Padres if they didn't do Machado, obviously, but they did. So Brewers make a nice deal with that. Then Josh Harrison's got a bargain. The Tigers really got a bargain with this. $2.5 million. I know he's fallen off a little bit, but he was an all-star in 2017. He just had a really bad year last year, so maybe the Tigers will catch something with him.
Yeah.
And then the White Sox got Irving Santana on a minor league deal. That's their big signing, not Machado. Ha, White Sox. You guys suck. You shouldn't have ran your mouths on Twitter like you guys actually are players. You ain't nothing. We'll see you in like 2 to 3 years if you're lucky.
Nah, we'll see what happens.
But I actually like, speaking of their division, I think the Twins can push the Indians. I think they have a chance to push them because
you think?
Their offense has gotten way better. The Indians have lost a lot. The only issue is the gap between the pitching is really what's going to be the problem for the Twins. So I don't think they'll actually win a division, but I could see them winning like 85, like 88 games. The Twins, they have some nice bats. They have Berrios and Gibson, who are decent pitchers.
Yeah.
Their bullpen's a little problematic, but, actually met someone from Minnesota. It was a Vikings and Twins fan on the way home, so that was interesting. Yeah, it was before they signed Marwin, though. So, all right. Now we're wrapping up. We're getting towards the home stretch. Let's look at the big names that are still on the free agent market. We'll start with actually least importance to most important. So Adam Jones, an outfielder from Baltimore. We've known him for years. Very surprising he's still out there. A good clubhouse guy, nice veteran leader. Is he what he used to be? No. Can he help a team win? Yes, he can.
Absolutely.
But he's not like a star outfielder by any means. He's more of a third or fourth guy at this point. Like maybe playing 120 games a year or something. and he'll be just fine. I think the Giants make a ton of sense for him. I was telling Bobby that their outfield is really horrible. I don't even know anyone legitimately in it. It's all young guys that haven't proven a thing, and the limited at-bats they've had haven't been good, so I don't know what their plan is out there, but I feel he would help it. And they are in on Bryce Harper, apparently. They're in it, but I don't know if they're really actually in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, then there's Dallas Keuchel. And we were talking about Keuchel before, and it's very odd that he's still out there, but I think the issue is that he's asking for too much, and I've said this a million times. Other teams don't view him how he views himself, which is why he's still out there at this point. Because he's like, oh, I won the World Series, I got the Cy Young, but dude, you're not that guy anymore.
No.
That's not you right now.
Not at all.
You've done that stuff, but you don't get paid based on what you've done. Now, especially in this current day of thinking with baseball, you do not get anything based on what you've done. All you get is what they project you to do. That is what it goes like now. And Dallas Keuchel, they do not project you to do anything close to what you think you are. So that's why you're still sitting there.
Exactly.
I don't know what's going to happen with Keuchel. I have no idea where he's going. Will he take a 1 or 2 year prove-it deal? I'm not sure. He might have to at this point. Where do you think this ends with Keuchel?
Where do I think this ends?
Like, what type of deal do you think he's looking at? Like, what team do you think might get him? Because the Phillies are still in the mix. I think what's going to happen, if the Phillies whiff on Harper, I think they're going to sign both pitchers.
Yeah, I agree.
If they don't whiff on Harper, will they still sign one of them? Maybe. I'm not 100% sure. Because I know they still want to get Trout in 2 years when he becomes a free agent. But they have a lot of their money off the books in a few years. But we'll see. So I'll ask again. Where do you think the Keuchel situation, how does it get resolved?
The Keuchel? I think that he'll go to... you know what? We talked about this just before. I think he comes to us.
Oh, you actually think we'll make a play for Keuchel?
Yeah, why not? Just get another fit starter. You know, he could fill in there. If he doesn't do well in this rotation, throw him in the bullpen and just add to that. So,
well, like, what type of deal? Like a 1 or 2 year type thing?
Give him a 1 year deal.
Like
maybe
10 million, 12 million type?
9.5 to 11, I think, is
Maybe,
pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to break the bank for this guy.
No, we're not breaking the bank for Dallas Keuchel. That's definitely not happening. So if we can get him on a bargain to add rotation depth, my dad was saying the same thing. We're like, why not? I mean, it's this late in the game, so maybe it's possible. Who knows?
Yeah,
and he definitely wants to win. I don't think he wants to go to a situation where he's like out, where he's irrelevant and he's a loser. And like the Reds, for instance, when they were talking about him, but now the Reds look better. But I don't think he'd want to go to like the Angels or something like that. I think he wants to be like Phillies, Yankees, maybe even Mets. I think the Mets are a dark horse for him.
You think so?
Yes, because Jason Vargas is very bad as their fifth starter, and Keuchel would be a huge upgrade. So the next pitcher, Craig Kimbrell, is an interesting case. This is the man that wanted 6 years for $100 million. It's very clear he's not going to come close to that. And his agent was trying to say he was the best closer of all time, which is very laughable. Like,
that's a slap in the face to Mariano Rivera.
You're just like forgetting that he exists, and maybe he's the best closer of all time.
Yeah,
but not other than that. But Kimbrell's an interesting one. I'm not even sure who's in on him at this point, really. Yeah. I know the Phillies are interested, like we said before. I think the Braves could be a dark horse for him. Also, I wouldn't rule out Minnesota either, because I saw something earlier in the offseason that they were interested in him, and they really don't have a closer. And you see that they're willing to spend money, but I just don't know if they'll go to the necessary lengths that's going to be required to get Kimbrell.
Right.
I think he'll end up with the Phillies, though. I think they'll make it happen, even if they get Bryce Harper.
Okay.
Because I think they want to shore up that bullpen. They got David Robertson, so if they added Kimbrell, it would be really a good bullpen. Even without him, I guess it's all right, but I still think Phillies will get it done. I just don't want him going back to Boston. I want someone to take him off the board already, so we just know he's not going back there. So I'm sure you agree with that.
Yeah.
And then now we'll end this now with Mr. Bryce Harper, the big fish that's still out there. He's now waiting. Machado's gone. It's all on Harper now. The baseball world is stopped until Bryce Harper makes his decision.
Yep.
That's all everyone's thinking about. Every day I'm just thinking, when's this going to happen? What's going on?
Yeah.
When the end game here, I still think it's Phillies, but what are you taking so long for if it's Phillies?
Right?
Like, Phillies has to be the best offer on the table at this point. I'm pretty sure, although I saw something that said they weren't comfortable with Machado in the $300 million range, so I'm not sure what that pertains with Bryce Harper. I've also heard that they have an offer on the table that's over $300 for 10 years for him already.
But he's turned down multiple $300 million deals.
That's a curious thing. Like, what are you waiting for, Bryce? They're going to give you more than $300. Just take it already.
I don't know. Maybe he's waiting for a certain team.
Like the Yankees?
Yeah, I mean, like...
I feel like in the back of my mind that he's holding out hope that we're going to come in somehow, but I just don't know if we will. It's been this long already. We're getting close to March at this point. I mean, he's a great fit for the Yankees because we don't have lefties. I don't care. I don't want to hear any more crowded outfield nonsense. It's Bryce Harper. You make room for him. If you have to get rid of people, you get rid of people.
Yeah,
that's how it needs to happen. And it's not like we can't afford him, because please stop saying we can't afford him. And I don't care about the second luxury tax rate either. Just get this guy on the Yankees. But it's not going to happen, I don't think.
I wish it would, but you know what we have to deal with the owner we have and the GM we have going bargain hunting. So
I don't understand why, but that's how it's been now.
But we don't need to get into depth really about Bryce Harper. We've exhausted it for months, and you know he's just holding things up. Just sign already. We want to know where you want to go, where you're going. If you're going to the Phillies, just do
go.
it.
Yeah, like don't make us think we even have a chance anymore.
Exactly.
Honestly, but. Let's do, all right, so final breakdown for Harper, and when we'll let Harper go. So, the race is really, in my opinion, it's a 3-team race right now, with maybe a 4th team on the outside that we don't know about, that I'm praying to God is us somehow. So, Phillies are the front runner, number 1. Padres, I think, are the second, honestly, believe it or not. And then I think Giants are 3rd. The White Sox and Nationals have bowed out of it already. He's not going back there.
Yep.
And White Sox never had a chance anyway.
Yeah.
And it's the 4th team, us, I can only hope. But if not, then I think it's Phillies. Is that what you think?
Probably, unfortunately, yeah. He'll go there. He'll just go to the Phillies. They're going to offer the most money. They'll spend the stupid money on him, so there's no other place he'll go. But
do you think he'll get the 10 for $350? How high do you think it's going to be?
10 for $345.
Oh, okay. All right, so yeah, that was a good show. We had a lot of stuff to catch up on. We crossed over 3 sports. And for going forward, I'm just say one more thing. Me and Scott will be back on Monday with hockey because that's the trade deadline. And we're going to break that down on Monday. So for the Rangers, Zuccarello and Hayes already sitting out. So I'm expecting them to be traded very soon. And we're going to have to talk about that on Monday. Tuesday, we're going to have baseball. Again, we'll see what's going on with some of the spring training games. And I also found out that Gleyber Torres hit a homer in the 1st inning. So that's how we got our run. Now there's 3 runs on the board. Let's see what's going on. Okay, here we go. Lipta hit a double, and we got Tyler Wade in, and Aaron Hicks hit a double. So that's our 3 runs. Nice, Yankees. We're up 3-0. Nice start.
Yep.
All right, so for GNC Sports Talk, I'm Julian Gallardi.
I'm Bobby Thompson.
And we'll see you guys Monday.